How do we get to the root of the problem? Greta Van Susteren continues her conversation now with Kentucky Republican Congressman James Comer, who is set to become the new chair of the Government Investigative Committee of the House Oversight Committee.
When I hear China, one of the things that always comes off my head, because we've done a lot of shows on this, a lot of segments on my show, is fentanyl is coming from China, a little bit from India, according to the DEA and their webpage, and it comes into Mexico. The Mexican cartels repackage it, and it's poisoning our streets like crazy. People are dying. More people die from fentanyl than in guns. You go through the list, car accidents. Is oversight going to do anything or look at how this fentanyl, this secret war on the United States, is what I call it?
That'll probably be our first committee hearing to deal with the crisis.
What would you focus on?
Well, we're focused on some of the decisions Mayorkas has made, because we've been communicating with border agents, and Mayorkas meets with them regularly. Unlike the president and the vice president, Mayorkas does go to the border a lot, but he's basically telling the border agents to stand down. And they're pleading with Mayorkas. They're saying they know our schedules. They know that when the Mexican drug cartels bring these 50 to 100 migrants across the line, that the Border Patrol now has to process them. They take them, and then they take them to their facility to process them, therefore leaving the border unpatrolled. Then the packers go across with the backpacks full of fentanyl. That's how it ends up here. It happens every day. And Mayorkas is basically telling them, well, I know, I get it, but I'm not the one making the final call here.
So what can be done? I mean, look, it's coming in. I mean, look, it was much harder years ago to bring a bale of marijuana over, because pills are easy to hide.
It's a big difference in marijuana and fentanyl.
No, I understand, but one is a lot easier to hide than the other, and one is killing.
Right, I agree. Mayorkas is someone that this conference is unanimous in trying to hold accountable. I mean, we believe he needs to go. We believe.
But if he's saying his hands are tied by his administration?
Well, I think it's pretty evident that he's not securing the homeland. I don't think anyone would doubt that we've had 100,000 people at least die since Joe Biden's been president of fentanyl overdose. We know the fentanyl's coming across the Mexican border. It happens every day. We know this because our Border Patrol agents and our sheriffs and our drug task force agents all say the same thing. Everybody says the same thing, that it's coming across the border, and yet this administration won't do anything about it. Mayorkas is Homeland Security Secretary. His job's to protect the homeland. We have a border that's unsecure. Take away all the illegals that are crossing the border. Take away that. Let's not even talk about that. Let's just talk about the fentanyl. People are dying every day. More people are dying of fentanyl than dying at the hands of guns or anything else that they want to talk about up here in Washington on a regular basis. The fentanyl is something that the Democrats have completely turned a blind eye to. Somebody needs to be held accountable, and it's very easy to see who that someone should be. Someone should be Mayorkas.
So you think he should go?
I think he should go.
All right, so you get somebody else, and you get somebody else. We still have fentanyl on the streets.
Well, we have it on the streets, but hopefully we can shut off the supply coming from Mexico across that southern border.
But we still got the problem with it coming from China. I mean, obviously, this isn't a foreign relations committee, but I mean, to what extent could the oversight, besides putting a spotlight on this crisis, actually do something about the crisis?
We've got to get tough with China on trade. We're already trying to focus on ways to bring manufacturing, semiconductor manufacturing, chip manufacturing back to the United States from China. We need to start chipping away at every industry where China has a monopoly over there, especially if it's related to anything that would be considered Homeland Security or national security. If China wants to make blue jeans over there, that's okay. All right. But if China's going to make chips or anything technology driven, like anything part of our iPhones or anything like that, then we need to hold them accountable. TikTok spying has the potential to spy on every American. All right, by knowing where their location is. This is very dangerous. All right. The government needs to get firm and stand firm and get tough against these Chinese companies like TikTok. They need to do the same thing to try to get Apple. We need to have a meeting. This is where we have no leadership in the White House. The president needs to bring in all the big tech CEOs and say, what can we do as a government? If he wanted to be bipartisan, what are we going to do as a government to start bringing these industries back to where we're less dependent on China? They can't continue to make money hand over fist while at the same time they're stealing our patents, our technologies, and they're killing our people by selling fentanyl in the United States.
whoever the ranking member is, you can work with him or her?
We'll see. I'm going to try. I had a good relationship with Maloney. We passed bipartisan legislation to try to fix the post office. I mean, the post office is hemorrhaging money hand over fist, and it's something that I think most Americans support, especially in rural America. You could privatize the post office in the big cities, but no private company wants to deliver the mail in districts like mine. So we had to come up with a fix, and we're working closely in a bipartisan way with Louis DeJoy, the Postmaster General, to try to get a fix to the post office. But, on these investigations, if they want to put somebody like Jamie Raskins in as a ranking member, if he wants to defend the indefensible, then more power to him. But if he really wants to get to the truth, if he really wants to try to come up with a legislative fix to ban influence peddling in the future, then I think we can work together.
Sir, thank you very much for talking to me. I hope that after we get started in the new year, we can come back and talk to you again, see
Absolutely.
where we are.
Love to have you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.